Hey guys, welcome to my new video, the first video in a series called Popcorn Perfection, where we pair two movies together. Perfect combo for a Saturday night, double feature, drive-in, get your popcorn, get your candy. Let's go ahead with my intro and some recommendations. All right, let's get into our movies here on this first episode of my Popcorn Perfection series. The two movies that I'm going to recommend for a double feature are Street Trash and Brain Damage. Now, Street Trash is a 1987 movie by Jim Muro, really competent cinematographer. Hasn't directed a lot of features. I think this was his first feature and he does a lot of TV stuff, but he was James Cameron's go-to as a Steadicam operator, and you can really tell that in the movie. There's a lot of really good camera movement in this. It's actually could be called a really expertly shot trauma movie. It's the subject matter is pretty down and dirty. It deals with hobos, homeless people, blah blah blah, but it is pretty beautifully shot and a really fun movie with a lot of gore effects. Next, after that, would be Brain Damage, and Brain Damage has effects galore as well. That was a 1988 film by Frank Henenlotter from Basket Case and Frankenhooker fame. He was coming off a Basket Case to do this movie. Basket Case really had a good run. So he parlayed that into making this movie. He used a lot of people from the Basket Case crew, as well as from Spookies and Deadly Spawn. So the special effects artists that they have on Brain Damage are really good, really kind of cool effects. But same could be said for Street Trash. The body melt horror in Street Trash is notorious. I'm sure you've seen at least photos of it. So I'm going to go over and get into a synopsis of both films. I'm going to show you footage and talk about basic plot points. A lot of it's going to be left out. I don't want to spoil the whole thing. I'm going to cut away a lot of the gore, cut away a lot of the subplots, and just kind of broad brush do an explanation of each movie so you get a little taste of it. And then we'll come back and do an outro and talk about why I actually recommended these movies together. So let's go ahead and get into our first film here, Street Trash. All right, we got Street Trash here. We're going to summarize the plot, show you some footage. It's basically about a New York liquor store owner who finds a 6-year-old case of booze in the basement of his store and decides to sell it to all the local hobos.
Got for me today? Today? Tenderfly Viper. $1.
There's a gang of hobos that are terrorizing the city and also terrorizing other hobos, stealing their booze. But this guy's gonna have a bad day. Smells good. Vintage year. Let's give it a whirl. Oh yeah, goes down good. Oh no. We also have two homeless brothers who are living in the junkyard, trying to both cope with being homeless, and there's a caretaker, Wendy, who works there and is also looking after them.
What the fuck is this? I'm not paying you to babysit. This must be some kind of feminist motherly bullshit tactic.
That's right, Mr. Snyder. My ass belongs in your chair, not in your lap, which is where you keep trying to put it, which I don't appreciate one little bit.
And there's our trauma tie-in. That's Pat Ryan from The Toxic Avenger and Class of Nukem High. We also have an overzealous cop who's investigating all these deaths, trying to find out what's happening to all these homeless guys.
Of the Flatbush Foot Brigade, out on unofficial business.
We got a killing here. Somebody got iced, and it was probably your shithead boss who did it. Did you see him?
No, you gotta take my word. I really wasn't looking.
That ain't good enough. I can't do a $5 investigation on 5 cents worth of shit.
That's probably the best line in the whole movie. Boom, right in the face. And here we have Vietnam veteran Bronson. Probably gives the best performance in the whole movie. He is the leader of the vagabond bunch of hobos. Of course, he's ultra violent and psychotic, has flashbacks, and basically tries to beat up everybody in his path. Of course, I had to include the supermarket scene where we watch a guy literally steal things for 5 minutes and shove the whole grocery store down his pants.
Now you taking her word over mine. Now that's discrimination.
Here we go, Oscar performance alert.
You greedy scum bastard! What men? Your troops have deserted, you scumbag!
All this leads to a climactic battle in the junkyard between Bronson, the two brothers, and Wendy. Let's just say Bronson gets his due. And biggity boom. See you later, Bronson. All right, that was Street Trash. It's a pretty juicy movie there. Let's just go right into our next film, Brain Damage. Let's go over the synopsis. Hopefully you guys are sticking around and enjoying my brief overview of these movies here. So yeah, let's get into Brain Damage. All right, let's get into Brain Damage. Summarize everything up for you here and get into some footage. So this elderly couple has a dastardly secret. They've been taking care of a parasitic leech called Elmer, who escapes the bathtub, where our main character Brian enters into a symbiotic relationship with this leech called Elmer. Oh snap, more bathtub action. Okay, you know something's up.
I know there's
What's
someone
going
else
on here? I can sense it. I can feel it in my bones.
I don't know what you are, but I know you're in here.
That's either a bad enchilada or you got a parasite there, bud. All right, let's just take a second and appreciate how awesome the design of Elmer is. He's so cute. Now, using John Zachary, old-time horror host and radio personality, was a perfect choice for Elmer.
I'll show you the light if you'll take me for a walk.
Yeah, we're just gonna go for a leisurely stroll.
Where?
Anywhere you like. I'm hungry. Just put me on the back of your neck and everything will be...
Go out and get some tacos or something. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's my juice. I can feel it in my brains. Now that Elmer's got Brian all juiced up, he's gonna become dependent on this slick, juicy, parasitic, mind-altering goo. Okay, well, this is the start of Brian's addiction. He's addicted to those psychedelic colors and the feelings, but he ultimately does not have any recollection of what he does while he's influenced by Elmer. And you're gonna be toast, buddy. Well, that's what Elmer does. Elmer feeds on brains. So the more brains he gets, the more influence and power I guess he has over Brian.
Okay. Not bad. A bit underdone. Let's go. We better get out of here.
So Brian's girlfriend, Barbara, and his brother Mike are getting a little too close for comfort now when they know something is up with Brian, but yet his brother's kind of sneaking on in there.
You're on drugs, right?
Nothing that simple.
And we really start to see Brian's just descent into his addiction and his change of psychology from what Elmer's little goo juice is doing to his brain. So Brian gets a little indulgent, needs to get more fixes from Mr. Elmer here, and kind of falls deep into his drug-fueled addiction here. And we're juicing you up.
You got a real monster.
Brian is pretty good with the ladies now that he's got the Elmer machismo. And I'm gonna have to cut this.
Oh. Good God. What the hell happened tonight?
Ultimately, Brian decides to remove himself from the premises. He's scared that he's going to hurt someone he loves, so he's going to try and beat this Elmer addiction on his own. He's just does not want to stay around his brother or his girlfriend. Now Brian's going to do his best to try and get over his addiction to Elmer and Elmer's
From now on, I'm the one who's going to be calling the shots.
goo juice. But ultimately, the seduction of that parasitic goo is a little too much for Brian, and he eventually gives in again.
Hey, of course I'll help you, Brian. But you'll have to feed me first.
So Brian does continue to give in to Elmer and feeding Elmer, thus feeding his own addiction. And Brian's brother and girlfriend get a little too cozy here. Brian ultimately discovers the betrayal and kind of slips off the deep end.
Damn it, Brian. You can't just disappear and expect nothing to happen. You can't expect everyone to
He's
just...
hungry again. He ate a little while ago, but he's hungry again.
Now we make it to the climactic end of Mr. Elmer and Brian's relationship here. Not such a happy ending, fairy tale Disney stuff. Elmer eventually does get his what for, and Brian, well, maybe not a warm and fuzzy ending for our good friend Brian. And boom, we're done. All right, I hope you enjoyed our two overviews of our movies today on Popcorn Perfection here. Hopefully you will go out and grab these films. They are available streaming. I know Shudder has at least Brain Damage. I do have the Blu-rays right here. Boom, boom. Synapse, I think, released the Street Trash, I believe. Yeah, Synapse did. So you can grab that from Synapse, and I believe Brain Damage was released by Arrow Video. Boom. I'm not sure if it's on the Arrow channel or not, but check them out. The transfers are wonderful. The there's the cover there. A biggity boom. And then here's the cover to Brain Damage. Biggity bam. Brain Damage has a wonderful set of bonus material, like stuff about the special effects. So really good stuff here. Hopefully you enjoyed my Popcorn Perfection series. This is just kind of a test episode, just putting it out there, see what happens. We'll do more recommendations. You guys can send me recommendations in the comments. I have lots of ideas on what to pair together. There's tons of horror movies out there, tons of movies that I love. So I'm going to be pumping these out pretty quick. And then we're going to get into the Halloween season. And then I'm going to do full recommendations of like 10 horror movies to get you in the mood for October. So I appreciate you and thanks for watching. And please like and subscribe. I'm not going to say that again, but please like and subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying my videos. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.